joining me today. I am doing a Diwali inspired look, which is what you guys wanted to see first. So I'm so excited to do it for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the look. Because Diwali is the festival of lights, I wanted to add a lot of brightness to this look, and I have two different lip options for you guys at the end. I'm starting off by using two colors from the Anastasia palette, Raw Sienna and Burnt Orange, for my crease color. This is just sort of a crease that is supposed to be really minimal, and this is your transition color before you do the rest of the colors. Next, I'm going in with Red Ochre, also in the Anastasia palette, and I'm adding a little bit more depth. For a Diwali look like this with so many reds and brighter colors, it's good to have warm tones on the eyes, and these colors look great on the eye. Then I'm going in with the Master palette by Mario, and I am picking up the dark brown color right there. And I'm using that with a smaller fluffy brush just to put this precisely into my crease without moving it too far in. Next, I'm going in with Cypress Umber in the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm using that with a really thin brush just to put it directly into my crease. And this would be different based upon what types of creases you guys have. I just happen to have a really small one, but if you guys have bigger eyes and more of a defined crease, you guys can make this a little bit more dramatic. Then with the color Primavera in the Renaissance palette, which is like literally one of my favorite colors ever, this is our main color for the whole lid. And you guys will notice here that I have a really small lid, and this left lid of mine is actually smaller than my right. And as a result, I'm taking the eyeshadow up higher than I normally would. It's going above my crease, as you guys can see, but I have to do that to this eye so that way it looks even when you have both eyes open. And then for anything that you think you might not have blended, I'm just going back with a blending brush that doesn't have anything on it, just to make sure that all the colors blend seamlessly. Next, I'm going to use the Shade Light palette again, but this time for my highlight, and I'm using the colors Lyric and Lucid to get my brow bone highlight. And yes, I already did my eyebrows just because I felt like that wasn't something you guys needed to see over and over again, but I filled them in with MAC Lingering Eyebrow Pencil. Then I always go back in with a blending brush that's clean, doesn't have anything on it, just to make sure all the angles are right. Then I'm going in with Inglot's Gel Eyeliner Color 77. This is like totally a ride or die to create my winged eyeliner. And over here you guys can see more clearly how I have so much less lid space in this eye, so then the eyeliner here has to always be thinner than the other eye. These are just small things that you do to create an optical illusion. So I keep darkening it and getting it as close to the lash line as possible. And then you might as well just do a little prayer before you create your winged eyeliner and hope that it comes out right. So I created my wing, then I'm going in and joining it and adding more black to the areas that, weren't as dark as they should have been. And you're going to keep perfecting it until you get it. And here on the bottom, with whatever's left in my brush, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my pencil eyeliner, just because that way it helps seal it in. Then with Midnight Cowboy by Urban Decay, I'm going to take that and draw on my first line of glitter right above my black eyeliner. You don't want it to be on your black eyeliner at all. And then in a half moon or like an upside down U, I'm going to keep adding until I get the right amount of glitter. And this dries pretty quick too. Then with my Orange Corrector by LA Girl, I'm just going to go ahead and map out some areas that are a little bit discolored. And then I'm taking a blending brush and blending it out so that way it's not super orange. The more orange it is, the harder it's going to be to cover up with your foundation. And I already did my foundation just because you guys have seen it 1,000 times. I use the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus in color 65. And over here for my concealer, I'm using Maybelline's Fit Me Concealer in Deep Fonce. And I've mixed that with my Pro Longwear by MAC in NW35. And I'm just using that with a beauty blender and mixing it in. I like to use those two because the Pro Longwear really does last a long time, and it tends to melt into your skin and look much more natural than a lot of other concealers, which I really love. Next, I'm using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark, and I like to put this over the areas that had discoloration as well to darken them naturally, just like my skin would look like if I didn't have foundation, because foundation is just one color and my skin is never one color. That helps to make it look more natural as well, and I've really been loving that trick. And then I'm going to put this on top of my forehead. If you guys notice, my temple area and the very top of my forehead doesn't have foundation at all. And that's a trick that I've been using that really does make my foundation look much more natural. Then with my Anastasia Renaissance palette again, I'm using red ochre and Venetian red on the bottom for my bottom lash line. Then here I've used Lovejoy blush by Nars, and I'm putting that all over my cheeks. With my blush, honestly, I don't have a specific way of putting it on. I don't really ever go for the apples of the cheeks. I go for the whole like stripe almost, but I do concentrate it more towards the center, but not the apple, because that look doesn't look good on me. Then with Becca's highlighter and opal, I'm using that for the top of my cheekbones. I wanted to get a more glowy highlight for this look, so that's why I chose this one. And then next, I'm going to contour my nose. I'm using one of the colors, Subconscious, in the Kat Von D palette as well. I'm using a normal blending brush, the 224 by MAC, but I've flattened it so I get straighter lines, which doesn't even look that straight to me right now that I'm looking at it. But it just helps get a little bit of depth and darkness right where I want it to help contour. Then for my lips, I'm using the Makeup Forever lip liner in 4C, and I usually put that all over my lips before I put on anything else or any shade like this, because it helps cover up the pigmentation that my lips naturally have. Then I'm using the Nars Velvet Lip Glide in the color Bound, and I'm putting that on all over my lips as well. This is an incredible formula. I'll be doing a review soon for sure. Here is the look with that light pinkish lip gloss look, in case you guys wanted to do something like that and not so dramatic. I loved how that turned out. But in case you guys don't want to do that and you wanted a darker lip, here is one that I'm going to show you guys in a second by Tarte. Unfortunately, it's like a sample size, so it doesn't have the name on it. But I also do really like this look. It's kind of sexy in its own way. So this is the Tarte lip paint, which, by the way, you guys, this formula is to die for. It is literally the most comfortable liquid lipstick I've ever worn. It feels like a mousse. And it really stayed on well, too. But I don't know the color. I'm going to try to find it and put it in the description box. So here is what that looks like. It's actually a deep raspberry. It's looking more red here, but in real life, it did look more raspberry to me. But here's the finished look with that, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already.